Hey guys, Akil Mohideen here. Today I want to talk about the new MacBook. This is going to be more of a features explain video than an impressions and where I see this MacBook going. I might do a separate video on that, but this particular video is going to be a explained. So let's just get started. Okay, so the first feature that I want to talk about is the Trackpad feature. And in the Trackpad feature, basically what happens is that you have to understand how a regular trackpad works before. And a regular trackpad is made with a button. So when you push down on the trackpad, a button gets pushed down. And inside a button, two contacts are pushed down together. So like contact 1 and contact 2. So they're pushed down together until the electrical contact is made, allowing for the flow of electrons through the contact, telling your computer that the trackpad has been pushed because that the electrons can flow through now. Fantastic. So that's how the regular trackpad works. But now the problem becomes that a button, its housing especially, takes up a lot of space. And so the only other option to get that contact is that you take two soft touch, which is basically you take the inside of a button, gut it, and you just take the contact parts and you put one contact on the bottom of the trackpad and you put one contact on the inside of the computer, so this way when you push down the trackpad, the contacts get pushed down together. Fantastic. The only problem is with this, with a soft touch, as it's called, button, you don't get the tactile feedback. You don't get the nice click from the button with the soft touch. And a nice click, is a feature that Apple really likes, which their trackpads are really good for. So to solve this issue, what they did is they made an electromagnet. And if you don't understand what an electromagnet is, you can look it up in another video. But basically, it's a wire. It's current. When current is passed through a wire, whether it be copper or whatever, and a magnetic field is made. So an electromagnet will always repel a permanent magnet, which means that an electromagnet will always push away from a permanent magnet. So what happens is when you make this soft touch contact, it'll not only send the current to the computer knowing that you touch the trackpad, but also send current to the electromagnet, turn the electromagnet on, and the electromagnet will repel the permanent magnet, or it might even be another electromagnet inside, but either way there's two magnets going on and they repel each other, which pushes the trackpad back up, which is important. So that allows, when the trackpad gets pushed up, it allows for the tactile feedback that you are missing with the soft touch button.
The pressure you apply activates an electromagnet that responds with tactile feedback. So now instead of just seeing what's happening on the screen, you feel it too.
And this is honestly a genius idea by Apple on their part. And it was honestly the best feature that I think went into the MacBook. Now, you might think that this feature doesn't work too well, but Marquise Brownlee, who did a first impressions on the MacBook, said that it is actually very similar to how a MacBook actually feels, how the trackpad actually clicks. So I guess they did a lot of trial and error and eventually got it to work, but either way, I really enjoyed this feature. So that's like a thumbs up for Apple. Okay, so the next feature I want to talk about is the butterfly mechanism. So to understand the butterfly mechanism, you have to understand how the keys previously worked. So I'm going to give a quick demonstration of that. So basically you have contact 1 and contact 2. No surprise there. And say you have button A. So, key A. And key A goes on top just like this. And when you press key A, it pushes the whole mechanism down so that contact 1 and 2 touch each other and the electrons can flow through, telling the computer that button A was touched. So it says prints an A on your keyboard, obviously. Now, the problem becomes that when A and 2 become so close together, and that contact A becomes so small that this lever mechanism becomes unstable. It becomes undurable, not durable, and the point is that it'll break. The mechanism will now break because there isn't enough stability on the hinges for it to stay sound. So what they do instead is they make two contacts, which is sort of like this. Okay, so now you have two contacts like this. Okay, so now when you have A on top, two contacts are pushed down. Now the point is that these contacts on the sides here and here, on all these sides, are made of plastic. So this way it gives the structural sort of build to the key. So now you have the advantage of having two hinges on it, which means that the key is now sturdier. This is all that went into the butterfly mechanism. I don't know what the big deal was. The butterfly mechanism has been used in countless devices before. It's just now a big deal because Apple decides to put a name on it and decides to use it. So there you have it. That's the butterfly mechanism. Okay, so this is the stacked battery explanation. This is obviously the less complicated. Oh, sorry, terrace battery. This is the least complicated of all the explanations. So basically, in a regular computer, you have the battery that's in a rectangular format. The problem is, though, in the MacBook and the MacBook Air, the side tapers, which means it gets thinner. So this rectangular battery doesn't work because at the edge, when it's really thin, this battery, this square battery, this rectangular battery won't work there. It'll be too thick. So what they decided to do was just spread it along so that you get this sort of shape, right? This is in a enlarged format, but basically that's how it works, and it just allows you to use the full capacity, the full leftover space for the MacBook for battery. This way you get as much juice as you can possibly pack in. This isn't a new idea. People have been doing this for years. We saw this in the Moto X, a phone 2 years ago, and that's how it was able to achieve that 24-hour battery life that we love so dearly.
These sheets are stacked in a terraced structure that was developed along with the external enclosure. The design allows for 35% greater battery capacity in this compact space.